Hello and welcome back everybody once again to the Mineski Pro Gaming League Season 6. It's the third game of the best of 3 series between Awake and the Prime SIAPA. And we are at the final game, the deciding one, who gets into the group stage for the Codes. Of course, we are HeflaTV as always. I'm Coucher and I am joined by Blackadder.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We've got... Whoa! Hello! Unorthodox first two, Razor and Meepo for Awake.
Oh man, this pick, I mean, is it worth it picking it this early on? Awake, they have ran it before, I guess, but it hasn't been banned in the two first series. Do you think just revealing the Meepo this early on might have been a mistake, or just can't be countered?
If you show it this early, sure, you're picking it second, so you've got the second ban phase to try to remove the threatening heroes. Ember Spirit for one, Earthshaker should be the second ban out here, possibly. It is a very ballsy thing to do this early. It is incredibly ballsy to do this early. I'm actually surprised they didn't ban the Earthshaker. And Awake may be looking to at least come out with a show of force to show that they're not scared to show what some of their better heroes, perhaps, to win themselves the spot in the tournament. But as we all know, Meepo can be countered fairly early, but if he gets an early level advantage, the Meepo can snowball. We've seen so many teams do it lately, and it's... How to phrase this one? It's a unique pick. It's that unorthodox pick. That line between genius and insanity. This one generally does fall on the side of insanity, but... I think we're in for a game. We are in for a really good game 3.
Yeah, we most likely are indeed. I mean, even if the Meepo loses, the game should still be interesting at the very least. But at the moment, the Prime, they did start the exact same way as game number 2, I think. Just Death Prophet, Shadow Shaman going for the push. But what will they go for next?
Well, they've got Death Prophet, they've got Shadow Shaman. Doom is still available, I'll point out, and Doom can deal with the Razor to a fair amount. It's also, at least, not as good against the Meepo, sure, but Doom can be cast on any of the other supports or core that Awake pick up here. Doom is always a good hero, and it's one that I wouldn't want to see overlooked. But nonetheless, other options that are there to work with the Shadow Shaman, the Death Prophet. We've seen Jakiro a lot lately. Jakiro would be very good for Prime if they have a player that handles the Jakiro. And the Void, of course, does not get forgotten. He will be picked up, and we could see the potential for a Skywrath Mage in this game as well.
Yeah, well...
Unfortunately, I was meaning for Prime. However, Awake will help themselves to it and deny it to Prime.
Yeah, I mean, not only does it deny... I mean, they have plenty of setup with all the Meepos just using their Earthbinds, just netting everybody up so they can't run away from the Mystic Flare. So they definitely have the synergy between the heroes, as well as now potentially when the Faceless Void comes in with the Time Walk, if the Skywrath Mage is close enough and the reactions are there, he can just immediately Ancient Seal up the Faceless Void, deny the Chrono from coming out, but not only that, Ancient Seal boosting up the poof damage.
Yes, very good point actually, and the Ancient Seal I believe is 36% increase, and you consider potential for 5 Meepos, each Meepo doing 280 damage when because I believe it deals damage at both points. 280 damage times 5 amplified by 36% is quite a scary bit of math right there. And I don't exactly want to do that on the fly, but nonetheless, as we look at this game, we do get the Earthshaker pickup here for Prime, and this does not surprise me. Earthshaker can come in and can annihilate the Skywrath Mage with the Echo Slam if he can catch it with the Meepos, and it's a good hero against Meepo either way.
Yeah, it most certainly is, man. Just Echo Slam onto the Meepos is so damn devastating. Just gets an extreme amount of damage from all the Meepos that are there, and of course just can stun lock all of them with the Enchant Totems, and the Enchant Totem, of course, providing the additional burst damage to just get that one Meepo down. That's all you need. Kill one Meepo, and you're just done with that hero. But Awake, what do they go for as their fourth one now? TP's lineup is really solid. Something you can see like 90% of the games, those picks, the 4 heroes, they are so commonly picked. Of course, Awake, apart from the Meepo, Razor and Skywrath Mage are extremely strong themselves. But I just feel like having a Meepo already makes it harder to execute.
It does. It makes it much harder to execute, especially when you're going into an Earthshaker and a Faceless Void. And I will also point this out. With the potential for Meepo, potential Aghanims, 5 Meepos, and the other 4 heroes, that's 9 targets that are regarded as heroes for an Echo Slam. Imagine Aghanims on top of that. 18 targets. 18 Echoes. From heroes alone.
It's mind blasting, man. I can't even imagine it. It's like the Big Bang.
Well, assuming you get the magical everyone, and there's the Doom that I was expecting, but equally, it's for Awake this time, so they're running Tricore, Meepo, Razor, Doom, and the Doom works against the Void quite nicely, but imagine the Echo Slam. The Echo damage is 70 per Echo. 18 times 70 before any creeps or anything that are counted in it if you hit the perfect Echo Slam. It's quite a nasty amount of damage.
Yeah, it amounts up to, I think, 1,260. Should be close enough to that at the very least.
Yep.
Plus, if there are creeps around as well, holy smokes. And, I mean, not only that, they just have so much to follow up as well. The Exorcism, the Crypt Swarm, as well as the Ether Shock from Shadow Shaman, being able to hit up to 7 targets when it's maxed out. They just have so much burst damage. Of course, I guess thankfully for the Meepo, pretty much all of it is AoE. So, there's not too much threat of just one Meepo dropping much lower than the others. So in that sense it can be good, but I mean, this Meepo, he's gonna have to pull something special up against the lineup that TP has.
I think the 2 heroes we're going to be focusing on a lot in this game will be Awake's Meepo, but equally the Earthshaker. The Earthshaker is going to be the linchpin in my mind for Prime's lineup so far.
Yeah, I mean, he needs that fast blink dagger, but of course, if you have a Shadow Shaman and an Earthshaker, which support just takes priority in farming here? I mean, it has to be Earthshaker at least in this kind of game.
It'll be the Earthshaker. The Shadow Shaman, unless he's a core, will be the 5 role on this one. It's generally something we don't see a Shadow Shaman do, but it's a requirement in this one. However, we do see a ban out on the AA from Prime, and equally a ban out on the Weaver from Awake. So going into the last picks, with your support Shadow Shaman Earthshaker, your core Void, you get your Elder Titan once more, and now you've got AoE. And this is a phenomenal amount of potential damage coming out of Prime.
I mean, I must say, I at the moment favor Prime's lineup. It's just so hard to catch them, and it's going to be extremely hard for the Doombringer as well to actually get to his target to doom whoever he wants.
I'm inclined to agree completely. It's going to be absolutely nuts. I mean, he's going to have to go through potentially a Fissure. Chronosphere is going to be there. There's going to be Hex Shackles on the Shadow Shaman. He's going to have to get past a potential Split Earth and the sleep of the Elder Titan should this go fairly late and he gets the levels. There is so much in terms of control or positional disruption effects on Prime's side, unless we see something completely unorthodox from Awake and we'll see a Vengeful Spirit. I'm going to turn around at this point and say my money is on Prime. But where are you going to put your bet?
I think just Prime has the better lineup. The last pick, Vengeful Spirit, does make Awake a little bit better, just in a sense that they can go for those early Roshians. I mean, Meepo plus Vengeful Spirit, they don't really need anybody else to help out there, I think, even. If the Meepo is just poofing one Meepo or keeping one Meepo in the fountain and just poofing them back and forth to regen up. Just Roshan is definitely one thing that Awake they want and they need to get as well if they want to be able to fight. But Awake, do they have enough pushing power even here to just get the global gold, get some map control and try to snowball in this game?
Potentially, but they need the Razor to come online. Meepo can push fairly well, yes, but they're not going to have that Death Ball potential until we see an Aghanims or BKB or Mechanism at least on the Razor. Potentially 2 of those 3 items need to be a requirement for this Razor to become that Death Ball type hero. But then you're still pushing into the potential of a Chronosphere and Echo Slam. It's going to be very painful. But while we've got this pause going, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, just out of curiosity, place your bets. Who do you think is going to win? Prime or Awake? Just put the name of the team you think has got the edge, and we'll see what you guys think.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see. And we'll know who's going to be wrong by the end of it. It's all about who's wrong, not who's right.
Fair enough. But a game like this is quite refreshing, seeing the unorthodox picks like the Meepo, the Elder Titan, being a little more forward in terms of their priorities. And it's certainly a nice change from the recurring nightmare I've been having with techies appearing. Apparently, techies.
Yeah, well, so the game gets unpaused, and I guess to go over the lineups once again for TP, for the Prime up on the Radiant side. Monang will be playing the Death Prophet, leaving Nafari on the Faceless Void, MST to play the Shadow Shaman once again, Boo on his Earthshaker, and Y2K up on the Elder Titan. Man, a lot of the players playing the same heroes as in game number 1.
Indeed, and the heroes they're experienced with, the heroes they're comfortable with, and if they can execute as a team, it's going to be perfect. But on the flip side of the coin, for Awake, we have Toye on the Razor, we have King A on the Skyrath Mage, and finally in the tri-lane we have Yo2. So this is going to be a fairly powerful tri-lane in terms of its potential aggression. Ancient Seal, Magic Missile, and potentially Plasma Field. However, mid lane, you have Tom Young-kung on the Meepo. Now, I'm going to watch this Meepo and just enjoy, for lack of a better word. We've seen what Tom Young can do with a Tinker, and that was something special. It was 36 charges on Bloodstone or something absolutely nuts. What he can do with a Meepo is going to be something special, but there is still one more member of Awake, and I don't like leaving someone out, so we have Solotic on the Doom, and he's going to be going in a 1v1 lane up against an Elder Titan. And the Doom, he's going to be okay, he's going to be getting some farm, but he has to at least respect the potential for right-click damage out of Y2K, considering Doom has 0 armor.
Yeah, Natural Order won't mean a thing to the Doombringer, because he's taking all the damage to begin with anyway. So,
yep, pretty much.
At least that's a bonus to him, I guess.
In the meantime, Doom will find himself the Invis Rune and could potentially do some funny things off of his top lane, but not without any support.
Yeah, I mean, and Invis doesn't help him too much. He's gonna... Oh, not the best creep to get the Hellbear Smasher at the moment with the Devour here. But he'll take anything he can get to just start the Devour running, get that early gold, and...
Mid lane, long range Fisher potentially. They're thinking about it. It will be thrown, and it is a block as well. Tommy can completely out of position, but the body blocks don't come out from Boo Boo, and Tommy should be safe. Then again, leap over, as well as the shackles. They do catch the Meepo, and if they can bring him down at level 1, that'll be pretty damn huge. He's going to try to tunnel through, not going to do so, and he will be brought down with one more right click of that Earthshaker. Boo Boo picking up first blood. However, in come the supports. Counter kill potentially. They're going to try to bring down Nefari, but the supports aren't quick enough.
So, first blood taken up on the Meepo. Definitely something that the Meepo was not expecting or didn't want to have happen. It's just that hero needs to snowball. There's no way around it. Of course, once he hits level 3, if he's just spot on with his micro, he can start helping out any other lane. That, of course, might free up the mid lane for the Faceless Void if the Meepo leaves it to just poof up on other lanes. But it's probably worth it if he can set up the kills there.
It all comes down to setting up those kills. I mean, it's pretty much a requirement in this game. They need to repeatedly set up kills, but we do get another Fisher come in, and Booby's going to try to bring down Solitic, but Solitic has that Hellfire going, and he's so quick across the field of battle with that up.
Yeah, it's really hard to just pin him down with the Hellfire regeneration and the extra movement speed once the Scorch Earth just is activated. But looking at this bottom lane, Monang is in some trouble, of course. He's up against a tri-lane for the most part, at the very least. So Razor, he's gonna have a pretty good time here, unless Awake supports just rotate around non-stop. But Death Prophet, he just can't go to the lane at all.
No, he can't. If he goes forward, he potentially gets brought down by the tri-lane. It's one of the big problems here, and this Death Prophet needs farm, needs items, and the lanes coming out of Awake are just too strong at this point in time. The Razor, too far forward. If she comes forward for experience, she'll potentially be caught by the Plasma Field, by the Kinetic Field, especially with a potential rotation in from King A. And he does have his Concussive Blast as well, so not only will you be potentially dead, you'll be slow and dead on Monang.
Yeah, and well, at least he did have this Observer down here, spotting out King A coming in. So he does back off once again, but I have seen a couple of games where the Death Prophets are shut down early on, and it has not gone well for them come late game, because they just don't have enough tank. Actually, top lane another feature onto Solitic. He has the Scorcher, but will it be enough? Some body blocking is going on, but he will make his way out of there in the end.
If there was enough mana on Y2K to drop one more Ancestral Spirit, it could potentially have been a kill. But still, you do have Tom Young lurking nearby with one of his Meepos. He's doing what he can in the jungle while the mid lane Meepo farms, and this is exactly what we need to see, but now we get rotations coming in. Solitic could have blocked him in there if he caught Boo Boo, but in comes the rotations. The shackles are there. However, magic missiles go onto Boo Boo. If they can bring down the Earthshaker, that'll be pretty damn big, and they will do so. The Meepo gets the credit for the kill as well, which is even more important in favor of Awake here. It's helping out the main Meepo, just in terms of that gold, levels, experience. Level 4 already, nearly level 5 on the Meepo at 4 minutes in.
Yeah, and actually Faceless Void, he is about to hit level 5. One more creep, that's all he needs. Of course, getting the first blood or being a part of it did help out the Faceless Void there a lot. But Meepo is level 5 now, so catching up and probably even surpassing anybody else, unless he just dies again anytime soon.
I would completely agree, and, well, sure, you killed the Meepo at level 1. He already has his treads. What other items are we potentially going to see on him this game? He could go for the mechanism, but most likely the Razor to carry that. He could go
top lane,
for...
Y2K in huge trouble. Solotic activates the Scorcher just to chase him down. Some body blocking, magic missile, minus armor to come from the Howl of Terror, and King A picks up the kill.
Pretty damn big kill going the way of the Scarlet Mage as well. I mean, if we can see the Scarlet Mage start the ball out of control, this could be a very special game for Awake, certainly, but while that's going on, the Meepo is still farming up. And I was saying just before that fight broke out, what item do you go for first on the Meepo? Do you go for that Rush Blink Dagger or the Aghanims?
I know the most Meepos I've seen, they just rush the Aghanims first, just to get that extra Meepo, increase the farm rate as well as just get more XP. The more Meepos you can spread around, the more XP you can potentially get on the map. And then go for the Blink Dagger. Because if you go for the Blink Dagger first, and you jump in, you're actually not the tankiest at all, especially if it should be up against an Earthshaker, for example. So I think Aghanims would be the better choice here.
That will help him get those stats and become that tankier force like you would like.
Yeah, I just think that if he goes for Blink Dagger, he might be a little bit too vulnerable to just getting ganked or killed.
Bot lane in the meantime, they use the Meepo just for scouting here, and they will go onto Toye, but in comes the Shackles, going to break the channel of MST, but you've still got 2 Meepos caught out of position here. Can they find anyone else? I don't think they're going to be able to, but they are getting some right clicks onto Monang. 1 Crypt Swarm to go, though, and just look how much damage these Meepos are taking. 1 poof, 2 poofs. They need 2 more right clicks, and they're trying to micro the Meepos away, but we do have a Fissure ready in a few seconds' time. They'll bring down the Death Prophet, and Meepo is still trying to escape, but 1 right click from this Earthshaker does clean out the Meepo, and it's a 1-for-1 trade down on this bottom lane in the second half of the fight. But top lane, there is still some pressure going on. Y2K taking some damage in terms of health, and there is the potential rotation in from the supports. They could loop around. Nope, they're going to be heading towards that mid lane, and they're going to look to at least force a fight when Meepo comes back alive.
Yeah, so far it's pretty damn even. I mean, 3-3. So nobody gets a huge advantage, and there is a smoke indeed, exactly like you mentioned. Nafari has a Chronosphere though. Might be actually he's gonna pop it as well. Will it be enough damage to press down the Meepo? Boo is there, the Fissure comes out a little bit too late, and actually on the wrong side as well. Nafari gonna get Earth binded up, but might be able to escape the poofs. He gets the time walk out. The Fissure actually, it helped out the Faceless Void in the end here, I think.
It did, and the Fissure just was the sole reason he was able to escape. I will have a point out, Void almost died because of that Mask of Madness. This is the downside of rushing a Mask of Madness first item. He doesn't even have boots, and he's just gone, poor man shield, Mask of Madness. Such a detriment when you're taking 30% extra damage from all sources.
That is suicidal. I mean, there's no other way to put it, and he's gonna go for, what, a Ring of Aquila now, or just, is he getting a casual Wraith Band here?
I should think he's going to go for an Aquila, but still, the lack of boots concern me. They concern me greatly.
That's an item build, I have to admit, I have not seen on Faceless Void before.
I think we're going to file this one under unorthodox.
X-Files. These are going to be the X-Files.
Potentially. I think Nefari might be taking lessons out of the how to die repeatedly of Nefarian.
Oh, oh man.
Well, I have to make my puns every now and then, but pressure, at least for the early game, seems to be squarely on the side of Awake. They're keeping these lanes pushed out repeatedly. And we look across the map, we've got 1,000 gold lead for Awake, and the Meepo is going to start to snowball if he can continue his level of evolution in this game. And we are going to be seeing the Aghanim Scepter for Meepo as his first big item. So the extra Meepo early in this game could be a good force, but...
Gonna get slowed down by the concussion shot, minus armor, there's static link activated, he even pops his exorcism, but he just loses his life way too fast to be able to do anything.
Yep, and the damage stolen by Toye as well could potentially mean this tier 1 tower will fall. You do have rotations coming in from the Earthshaker, sure, as well as a DD Void with a Chronosphere, so they could look to make something off the back of this, but it needs to be a pitch-perfect Chrono. He needs to catch 3, if not 4 members of Awake with this one Chrono. And you can see the positioning out of Yo2 here. puts down a sentry across the side, and Nefari gets pinged out. He's going to just be able to rotate back to his mid lane. They can't take this fight at this point. And even with the rotation away by Awake, they couldn't pick off a straggler.
Yeah, and I have to say that I just wanted to say how well the Death Prophet has actually caught up in this bottom lane. And he was doing so bad early and couldn't even go into XP range properly. But now 35 and 4 compared to 49 and 16 Razor. Yes, he's still behind, but I mean, Razor had pretty much free farm on the lane for a really long period of time. Of course, just as I was about to say that the Death Prophet did die again. But I think it's in the limits of just being just fine for Death Prophet.
At least for now, yeah. The Death Prophet will be able to recover. She can farm up fairly quick, and when she starts getting the towers, that'll fix the gold issue, and she'll be going for that early Yule Scepter just to try to avoid the poof combination of the Meepo, in all honesty, and the extra movement speed. But from where we stand right now, it's remarkably even when you consider how this game has gone. And generally, we look at the experience graph and we're going to want to see at least level acceleration of some description on a Meepo. But if I look at hero level right now, Meepo is level 8, so are the other two cores of Awake, and right on their heels you've got 3 level 7 cores for Prime. If Prime can keep this gap small, Meepo will be less effective. Prime near enough require the Meepo to be held down. Meepo is a hero that needs level advantage to be effective, and we all know that. But it is up to Prime here to show that they can control the Meepo.
A hero who also needs levels is going to be the Skywrath Mage, but at the moment, he's yet to hit level 4. We're already 9 minutes in, and the Mystic Flare is not going to come out anytime soon unless they just win a huge team fight with the Skywrath Mage surviving it.
I could see that. The Skywrath Mage being so far behind in terms of levels is a big problem, yes. Mystic Flare is going to be a very powerful tool. You mentioned in the draft, it combos so well with the Earthbind of Meepo. But with King A not being able to get the levels he wants, I mean, the rotations have been a little bit hit and miss, but he is stacking up the jungle for Doom. So while he's not getting levels, he's doing something constructive with his time on the map. He's not doing nothing.
And actually, I mean, if he just stacks up the jungle enough, poofs, of course, from the Meepo can easily clear it up if they want to go for that. Even Scorched Earth Doombringer can do it. I mean, I guess fast enough if they need to, but if King A is just around when the stacks are being farmed, that's going to be a huge source of XP already as well.
Yeah, it will be, and, well, we can see Solotic, how is he doing in terms of his farm? He's level 8 on the Doom, he's got a Midas, he's got Tranquils, and now they're potentially going to rotate in and try to find Monang, and they will hit him with the Magic Missile. Do we have the Doom to go? Yes, we damn well do. And from where we stand right now, he's slowed up as well. He can call his friends all he likes. They can't undoom him, and Doom will pick up the kill on the Death Prophet.
Yeah, a really nice pick up there, just getting a pretty easy kill, to be honest. There's no way the Death Prophet was about to escape this. King A getting about half a level from that, a little bit more even. So, all is fine.
All is fine, yeah. And if we can continue to see rotations from the Skywrath, and if he's stacking the jungle, he's at least being, as I said, constructive with his time. He's not wasting time on not being efficient, so it does at least work out in their favor. Then again, bot lane, Toya is actually being forced out now by the Elder Titan. The Elder Titan does have level 8 available to him, and the amount of damage that he can do now with the Ancestral Spirit and the 4 ranks up into Natural Order, a very worrying amount, and Moninger will come down here to farm this up as well, and we get on another pause. Apparently, we've got some lag issues across the board, which hopefully will be solved, but from where we stand right now, 10 minutes in, should we take a quick look at the items, Coach?
I guess we can do that indeed. We still see Nefari sitting on the Mask of Madness, Poor Man's Shield, and a Brave Fire Band. So, still no boots. Going for the Weaverish kind of build that some players like to go for. Although Weaver has the Sukuchi to make up for it, but nonetheless, no boots on the Faceless Void. Arcane boots up on both Bubu as well as MST, not much else. As Monang has face boots, working towards what I can only guess is going to be Yule Scepter with the Sage's Mask. And Y2K, actually, how much gold does he have? Not too much at all, man. So, if he's going to go for a mech this game as well, it's not coming out too soon. He has only 500 gold plus Power Thread and Soul Ring.
Aye, and you mentioned the Weaverish build on the Faceless Void. The day I see at 10 minutes a Weaver with a Mask of Madness.
No, I just meant the no boots part.
The no boots part, yeah, I'll give you. But the day I see a Weaver at 10 minutes with Mask of Madness is the day that I eat my imaginary hat. Because a Weaver has like one of the lowest base health in the game. It's a horrifying thought. Thank you for putting something else in the file of. Oh God, no.
Oh man, that would be pretty fun to see, to be honest. Pretty suicidal, just kamikaze style, but fun nonetheless.
You and I have a stark difference of the meaning of the word fun.
Fun for the viewers, not fun for the weaver.
Yeah,
of course, depending on which
that.
team you're rooting for as well, I guess.
Yeah, I'll grant you that one completely.
I guess it would be a... If you go for that item on Weaver, it's like, yeah, you bet against your team 100%, man. No way around it.
Yep, sounds about right. And hopefully the internet will be restored. We've got some net and lag issues across the board here, unfortunately, but with any luck, they will be fixed, and we shall be back underway momentarily.
Man, how unfortunate to get it at the third game as well. Just, it's like 10 minutes in. If one team snowballs, we might be looking at like 15 minutes more of this game, maybe even less if it's an absolute snowball. Because at the moment, looking at the net worths, the 3 cores of Awake, they are ahead. And looking at the graphs, actually gold graph, not a huge difference at all, like about 750 in the favor of Awake XP. 1,500 a little bit less.
Yep, it's a relatively close game at the minute in terms of the experience in gold, but as we've said, these teams have the potential to snowball and can rapidly evolve into a death ball push, specifically from the lineup that has the Razor and the Meepo, I'll point out. Sure, one side has Death Prophet and Shadow Shaman, so they're about equal in terms of pushing level of heroes, but it's still going to be a very rough game for one of these two teams should a death ball start to evolve. But for now, we're at least even, and now they're going to potentially go into Monang. They throw the concussive shot, but they've got no one else that can chase that quickly.
Yeah, I mean, Nafari actually wanted to come in from the side as well with the haste rune. Is he gonna go on the Meepo? Yes, he is. The right clicks the Chronosphere as well. I'm not too sure if he has enough, but the attack speed needs a few more time locks. The poofs are coming in. They will have the earth points. Oh, the time lock came out 1 second too late, and poof, no.
Oh, he'll at least get the counter kill.
And this, I guess it worked out somewhat without the boots. I don't know.
I'm not going to say either way on that one. Still, the lack of boots concerns me at 11 minutes in, but they managed to kill off the Meepo. The Meepo sure got a counter kill with the last strike of the Geo strike and the range creep hitting. But
not a single point into backtrack, man. Faces Void.
Yeah.
1 point into it would have been enough, I think.
I think if he avoided any one source of damage.
Wards! Oh no.
Oh, he used the stick and he's safe, but they're going to need to clean up these mass serpent wards, and that's what Toye's immediately going to do. He's just going to hit down every single one of these and get a good amount of gold for it. But Meepo, in the meantime, manages to find himself an Elder Titan. I do not know how he found himself an Elder Titan. Does he have a Blink Dagger? I didn't think he was going for one early. No, he's going for the Aghanim, so I'm guessing good initiation from Yo too.
Yeah, I mean, he was just going for the tower. He got the tower last hit as well, but I guess he went a little bit too greedy staying around there. In theory, economically, yes, it's worth it, but do you really want to feed a Meepo? I think the answer is no, man. He's level 11 already now as well. He gets fissured, more TPs are coming. They have the Echo Slam. Will they spend it? Yes, they will. Y2K is their Magic Missile does come through before the Ancestor Spirit does much of anything. But Meepo goes down in the end anyway.
He poofed the low HP Meepo into the Astral Spirit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and that's actually what caused the death there and the kill for Y2K. But now we get the smoke from the 3 heroes on the top lane. They're going to hunt and look for more as they drop the ping. They want to look for King A, if anyone here. And if they can get the extra kills here onto the supports, it's going to be good in favor of Prime if they can keep this level of aggression. But that's the big thing, if they can keep this level of aggression.
Yeah, that is a big if indeed. I guess they do want to continue up on it. Actually, Poo is only 600 gold shy of his Blink Dagger as well. And they get the Fissure on the wrong side, but I don't think it matters. Crypt Swarm with that Natural Order buff. That damage output, and now they're gonna go for tier 2 as well. It is only level 1 exorcism still though.
It doesn't matter, this tier 2 will still fall regardless. The tower, unless we see some mass rotations to defend this, cannot hold this level of damage. But we do have Tom Young nearby on that Meepo. We've got Toye on the Razor, he can fight. And equally on the sidelines you've got Solotic. He wants to come in with that Doom. And they're going to throw the first Earthbind, go on to Monyang. They need to rotate away, and in comes the Earth Splitter. The tower does go down, and this is a really bad time to pause for lag.
Holy crap. Puppy pause, man. I hate that term otherwise, but
this is about as close as you can. This is about as close as you can get to one. I mean,
the Earth Splitter has already been used as well. I mean, I would be a little bit surprised if Razor was able to just run out of it, or rather, if he would get hit by this now after seeing it come out like this.
It's still too close to the point of cast. He should be able to get out of that one either way, but we should be back underway now, and let's get this fight back on the road. We've got the damage coming in from the Hostile Spirit, of course, being recalled now, but the Earth Splitter at this point does nothing. You got Quick Swarm in. Now we get the Chrono. Perfect Chrono on 3, and just look how quickly these heroes fall. Doom does get thrown onto Boo Boo, so it's going to disable the Echo Slam, but he didn't have that available anyway, and now everyone's getting chunked. Solitic taking a good amount of damage, and you've got the Aftershock and the Mass Serpent Ward to deal with that Meepo. Double kill, however, goes the way of King A, as he manages to bring down the Elder Titan on the back lines of this fight. But now we've got Blink Daggers being picked up. We have a Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker, and now the next fight could have such a big impact.
Yeah, I mean, once again, Shadow Shaman isn't too far off of his own Blink Dagger as well. Only 500 gold short of it. So, the Blink Daggers, this fight was actually pretty huge. I do think Awake, they fought pretty damn well considering they got chronoed like that. Unfortunately, the Death Prophet's Exorcism actually wore out, or had worn out by the time the chrono came out. So him being in there as well couldn't help out with the additional crit swarms or silences. But it was a 2 for 2, but the tier 2 also did fall.
Well, the tier 2, again, in favour of the Prime. And if Prime can continue getting towers down like that before this Meepo can really come online with the Aghanims, it's going to at least throw the game advantage Prime. But the Meepo coming online is the key thing. We're only 700 gold away from the Aghanims. He's got stacks to clear in the jungle, and other than that, what does he really need after the Aghanims? A Blink Dagger. The ability to get in the face of Prime. That's what this Meepo needs. And level-wise, the Meepo is falling off, slowly but surely. You've got Death Prophet level 11. She'll rapidly hit level 12 if these pushes and kills keep going her way. But right now, this is where Tommy can at least get his advantage going should they take one good fight. The level advantage needs to be there for that Meepo.
Yeah, I mean, but one thing I still kind of don't understand is well, now we have a point to backtrack now that Nafari hits level 10. He has himself the power test finished up as well after the last fight. Actually, but he gets doomed. Is there enough follow-up or Solitic? Can he get this solo even? There's no TPs to help out, and
he'll get this alone. There's no chance that Nafari will die, even if he just tries to kite around. The damage from Doom and Hellfire will just do too much. That's the downside with the Void. He does not have the HP to survive to actually get initiated on him. You saw the use of Blink there from Solitic. He just blinked in front when he tried to go into the tree line. It was beautiful play, but in the meantime, we do have another kill. This time, King A picking up the Elder Titan. That's off the back of the support rotating around with the Mystic Flare. So he's starting to get his kills, his levels rolling. And we did say he was at a big disadvantage in terms of levels early game, but he has recovered quite nicely.
He's catching up just from the last fight now. On par with the supports of... Oh, what a deny from Toye coming out. But still, tier 2 tower gone. More map control going, but the Meepos with the Doombringer, King A, and Yotu, the Roshan is going on.
Yep, and Roshan falls here in favour of Awake. He'll go straight onto that Meepo, and I would not be surprised at this point to see a very aggressive shift in playstyle. We have that Aghanims now available for the Meepo, so he's going to be that big, I have 4 of myself, force of nature, and he'll very rapidly have himself the 5th Meepo available, considering if we can look at him, he's already level 14. He's actually ramping up that level acceleration that I was looking for. He's got 3 levels over the Death Prophet at this point, which is perfect. This is what I needed to see.
Yeah, him just farming up the stacks gave him so damn much all of a sudden. I mean, he got his Aghanim Scepter at what, like 16 minutes in, suddenly 1.7k gold on top of that. So only 400 gold short of the Blink Dagger, and once that item comes out, just Meepo really comes online. You said as well, he doesn't really need too much more as well. From there on, it's just kills left and right. Death Prophet has the Yule Scepter to try to dodge some of the poof damage. But for example, Shadow Shaman, I mean 777 HP. If he gets caught, he's just down. There's no way about it.
I'd completely agree. And one thing I will bring up with this Doom here, if I'm correct, he's got his blink, he's going to go for a Vlad's next, which will help the Meepo out, means he won't need to pick it up himself. And from that, we could be looking at some big team fights here. And now we see another jump in, but in comes the Earthshaker, looking to try to slow this down, but look how quick Solitic is across this battlefield. He's going to drop the Fisher to try to slow the Doom, but can Doom get enough damage on target? He's going to turn around instead. He's just going to grab the farm and turn, start throwing some damage onto Boo Boo, and Boo Boo could potentially go down himself here. A couple of right clicks, especially with the rotation in from King A. But Echo Slam to go connect onto 2, but one more blink away, not going to be enough. But in comes Nefari, he gets 1, and potentially going to get 2, but Doom will manage to get the hell out of dodge in time, but Y2K rotates in. Toy, the Razor, everyone else rotates into this fight, and now you've got the Elder Titan on the sidelines trying to survive with MST, but Razor is there looking to take away the life of that Elder Titan as soon as possible, and you've even got Yo2 battling away with Mong, and Solitic is still alive in this fight. All it would take is another Blink Dagger, a little bit more aggression. He's out of mana, sure, but one right click brings down the VS, and sorry, not VS, the Shadow Shaman, and now do we see potential for any more kills in this little scuffle? I don't think so. Y2K is too quick.
Yeah, and
Meepo. Top lane.
He was just pushing the entire time. He was pushing actually mid lane as was the top lane. 2 Meepos each, I think it was. But now just got a nice Earthshaker kill gifted to himself. And that fight on this bottom lane, it was so weird. I mean, I couldn't tell who has the favor for a long time because it was just chasing, nobody dying really. Of course, Doombringers is juking it out a little bit, and the Chronosphere only used for a Skyref Mage, who is just rather easy to bring down. But oh, the silent stun, Mystic Flare onto Nefari.
Yep, he just got obliterated. Did he have his Mask of Madness up at the time? Yes, he did.
Man.
That would be why he died so quickly. I was thinking that was very quick for the Void to fall, but 30% extra damage taken under a Mystic Flare with an Ancient Seal. That's a staggeringly large amount of damage. Meepo now does have his level 17, so he's got that 3 points up and divided we stand. There are 5 Meepos now on this battlefield. And where do we really go from here? Skadi, perhaps? Manta, another option. Both of these are good items. But the Stomp won't connect. We do have the Yules into the air from the Death Prophet. They're trying to force back Tom Yun. And successfully, they can potentially bring him down here. He does have that Aegis of Immortality, so we could potentially use some turnaround. But Monan getting very aggressive.
Yeah, and they might pay the price. Solitic, he had his ultimate, but yeah, I guess with the Meepo being as low as he was, they really didn't just force it.
Yeah. Doom didn't actually go for the Vladimirs. He sold the Bacillus that he had since the start of this game, and he picked up a Plate Mail instead. So it could be a Shiva's Guard or an AC at this point. Both would be valid. But I was hoping to see the Vladimirs, since the Vladimirs helps the Meepo out to a fair amount. It increases armor, give him lifesteal. What more could you possibly want?
And one thing that Solitic actually has as well, he has the speed aura from the Goblin. So, definitely not the aura you see used too often, but I just love that aura. And movement speed is life.
12% increased movement speed, and we've seen how quick Solitic is across this battlefield, and they're looking for the Death Prophet this time, and they will get her with that Mystic Flare, with the level death. It's just too much damage, and Solitic is on a dominating spree now. Equally mid lane, Chronosphere being thrown, and they're going to look to bring down Toye, but Toye is so damn tanky, but in comes that splitter. That removes that percentage of health, and an easy double kill going the way of Nefari. Equally though, Meepo, backlines, manages to bring down one Echo Slam on everyone, however. Do we see that Aegis Force? I don't think we will. Boo Boo will go down to the Arcane Bolts, and now you've got Y2K still fighting with Nefari, but Meepo is back. He wants to get back into this one. Blink Dagger in, all the poofs. They're going to bring down Nefari. Successfully double kill up for Tom Yum. Now they're going to try to chase down Y2K, or are they? Could potentially be a push for that tier 2 tower next, and that seems to be the order of business, unless we want to get very aggressive. Speaking of aggression, aggressive Blink catches the Earthbite. All of the Meepos come in, and that's going to be a very dealt Elder Titan and a triple kill for Tom Yum.
Man, the Aegis is making a huge difference there, but he suddenly has 3.3k gold in the bank. Can finish up almost any item he wants immediately. Needs a little bit more. Blink, War Stomp. Tom Young is gonna come back in Earthbite onto Monong as well. They pop the Mass Serpent Wars. The Shackles onto one of the Meepo. They're gonna get the kill here. That's a huge kill. Just tons of XP going in their favor. Gold as well, and Solitic, he loses his spree on top of it.
Indeed, that's 2 big sprees. That's between them. Ooh, how much is that between them? That's well over 1,200 gold for just those 2 heroes alone. And sure, they had to commit Mass Serpent Wards. However, they defended their tier 2 tower. They got 2 cores, and now they can potentially rotate and get a counter push going. Potentially this mid tier 3, potentially this bottom tier 2. Both are valid targets in this game.
Yeah, they are indeed, but man, I'm just looking at the hero level charts again. Meepo is level 20, the next highest 14. It's like, what? How does one compete? And Meepo actually purchased something, and it's gonna be a sheep stick.
Full cheap stick?
No, he needs the Void Stone still for it as well, it looks like.
Yeah, he does. However, we also do have a full Shiva's Guard coming online for Solitic on that Doom. So big items, tier 3 items are coming up across the board, and I do like the Sheepstick pick. Sheepstick is good on every single hero without fail. High amounts of stats and a Hex.
I mean, the Hex just makes such a difference, especially if you can jump in. You can guarantee that whoever you jump can do nothing defensively, just 3.5 seconds, you're disabled. I mean, yes, you can run at 100 movement speed, but that's not really gonna get you anywhere, especially if you have the Geo Strike stacking up from Meepo and the Earth Pines to follow up. So we have another pause. This game just... lots of small pauses, but as long as they're small, it's fine.
Indeed, I would completely agree. And I will turn around and say one thing about the Sheepstick. If I remember my mechanics right, that Hex actually suppresses the backtrack of that Void.
I mean, I can't be 100% sure, but I want to say it does.
If I remember my mechanics right, it does. And it's going to be picked up just for that sole reason of disabling the backtrack, since MKB doesn't do a thing to backtrack.
And at this point in time, the backtrack, it's not even a huge issue for them, to be honest, since Void only has 1.1k HP, especially if he has his Mask of Madness activated and his threads on agility or intelligence for some reason at the time.
Well, I'm not saying that it's necessarily being picked up just to deal with that Void. The Void, in all honesty, tickles when he swings that mace at this point in time, but it is one of the mechanics of the Sheepstick, whereas the Sheepstick will most likely be used on the Death Prophet or the Elder Titan, because I believe it'll disable the passive of the Natural Order while the Hex is up as well. Just like if you Hex someone with a gem, the True Sight of the gem is disabled while the Hex is up. It's one of the nice things about a Hex. All Hexes, be it Shadow Shamans, Lions, or the Scythe of Vice, have this mechanic.
And Hex is just overall such a good thing to have on your team. Like you said as well, just gives you great stats if you go for the Sheepstick. And some nice mana regen, not like Meepo needs it too bad, I guess, having 1.5k mana as it is, thanks to his Aghanim Scepter now.
It's just the extra bonus. I mean, what else could he buy other than the Sheepstick? I mean, we already have a Shivas coming up on Doom. Sure, he could pick up a Shivas of his own, but it doesn't help him as much. We could see a Skadi. Yes, Skadi would be a large amount of stats to be propagated to all of the Meepos. Another nice thing. The other option is the Heart, just to be an absolute ass in terms of being the tanky Meepo.
You mean, I would prefer probably Skadi over Heart, but I mean, I think Sheepstick still probably the best thing. It can just allow him to get any solo kill he wants, really.
Yeah, I'd agree to that one. And with any luck, we will hopefully have a reconnect from King A, because I would hate for this to be an admin decision of a game, considering it has been a good game so far. Sure, a little bit of back and forth, and not much of a gold lead. It's only a 7.5k gold lead. Same for experience, it's near 15,000, a bit more in favour of Awake, but it is completely recoverable here by Prime. I mean, they have proven they can take towers, they have proven they can take fights, and we have yet to see one of the big combos. Natural Order, Earth Splitter, throw into that Exorcism and the Chronosphere. The Chrono to set it up and everything else to work off the back of that.
I guess we did see like one Chrono into the Earth Splitter. I should believe it was the fight that Meepo lost his Aegis. I'm not 100% sure, but it definitely happened around here in the mid lane.
Yeah, that was the fight where he lost the Aegis.
So they definitely have the potential to just fight, and the XP lead, it is mostly the Meepo at the moment since he is so far ahead, and he's gonna cap out at some point. Only 5 more levels to go.
Only.
All for a Meepo that's so that fast, but what? It's only 24 minutes in though, and being level 20, it's definitely quite a lot of XP to be had. Looking at the XP per minute as well, he's sitting at 938, when the next height is 511.
What, an experience per minute?
Yes.
And that is absolutely nuts. And that just shows the potential of a Meepo when he's got multiple Meepos across multiple lanes doing multiple things. It's absolute carnage. It is really absolute carnage. Everything dies around the Meepo.
Yeah, even in gold per minute, he's number one. 619. Yes, it's not the highest, but all the 3 cores of Awake, they are the highest farmers in the game, as is shown on the net worth tab as well. I mean, Death Prophet is close to the Razor, but I mean, Death Prophet is a hero that also just needs quite a lot of items to be that indestructible force, as well as have that level 16, have the max out exorcism. But at the moment, he's working towards the Bloodstone, plus has a Kiilstofte before that. Still, I'm not too just sure about his ability to survive.
That's the big question. Can he survive? I mean, the Bloodstone's not finished. You've got 1600 health, which a Meepo can kill you with poof alone. It's a hard one to call, a very hard one to call, actually. And I'm surprised not to see a BKB as the second item out of the Death Prophet. I mean, a BKB would protect you from Mystic Flare, from the poof damage, from the Plasma Field, the Magic Missile. The only thing it won't protect you from is Doom and the Earthbind of Meepo.
Man, nothing protects you from Doom. That ability is just...
Linken's does protect you from Doom.
Well, I guess so. But usually you just can pop the Linkens with level def. Unless it's a surprise that he had the Linkens or somebody else activates his Linkens on him. Or if you have like BKB Linkens, then it's, I guess, the safest way to go about. Enigmas tend to build or to go for that item build if there's really a lot that can go through BKB otherwise.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me a lot of the time to see a Linken's when a Doom's on the field, though. And if you were to pick up a Linken's, it would most likely be on the Elder Titan or on the Death Prophet itself, just to protect the targets from Doom, the targets that need to be able to cast spells. I mean, sure, you could Doom the Faceless Void, but it still then means you've got to deal with the Ancestral Spirit, the Exorcism, and then it can all spiral horribly out of control with the Echo Slam and the control given to you by a Shadow Shaman. It's a horribly fiddly thing of who do you doom, who do you take out of these fights.
I mean, at the moment, if you get a Death Prophet before the Exorcism, it's definitely going to be huge. Even dooming Elder Titan actually might be just worth it. Stop the mech, the Earth Splitter from coming out at all, Ancestor Spirit, possible Echo Slams to just stop the momentum of a team fight. But game is finally unpaused. Hopefully for
we are
good.
Back underway. Yes, I would quite like to see this game finish without any more pauses, since they break the momentum so horribly. But now let's see if we can recover a bit of that. We've got just a little bit of a stand down in terms of aggression at this point. Then again, we do have Death Prophet leading the charge, maybe looking for a force on this tier 2, which would take away the dire side's Roshan advantage quite heavily. Equally, we could see just a forced team fight. I mean, it would not surprise me at this point. All the Meepos, they're just out and about at this point, and they're continuing to farm up. And now we have that full site device complete on the Meepo, though. It could be a very rough next fight, considering they do not know about that site device. However, Tier 2 on that bottom lane is falling to no defense at this point, and it'll be a Tier 2 potentially for a Tier 2, considering Toy is getting some good damage on the tower, does have that all-important Aghanim Scepter now on the Razor, and this will just fall, no contest. In comes the Stomp, though, to try to set up a potential team fight. Does only connect onto Toye, though.
Yeah, actually they're buying Mass Serpent bursts down for the tier 3, Glyph comes out as well. Death Prophet, he still had the Exorcism, but didn't choose to go for any chip damage at all on the tier 3. But Mass Serpent was going to get farmed up by the Meepo rather easy, and Tower, yes, it takes some damage, but I mean, Meepos can easily just keep the lanes pushed out.
Yeah, and if they can keep the lanes pushed out, that really will take away any form of advantage Prime want in damaging these tier 3s, and that's going to be required. Then again, in comes the jumps. They're looking for that Meepo. They catch it. Boo-Boo's having the chrono, and everyone is TPing back. They want to try to hold this. They want to try to protect the Meepo, and they get the mechanism last second, but in comes the turnaround. Nefari dies. Now they're looking for MST. If they can bring down MST, that'll be pretty damn big, but Toye is here. So is Solitic, and everyone just falls. They lost the Meepo in the end of this, but it does not matter. King A on a double kill, and that's a 3-for-1 wipe in favour of Awake. But that was a level 20-odd Meepo falling there, and that did give a good amount of experience. And I want to actually look at the experience graph when this updates to see how much of a shift killing that level 20 hero was.
Well, it's going to be hard to notice it, since they did lose 3 heroes in return as well. Might be a small shift, more small dent there. But once again, we lack to see the proper teamfight coming in from TP, with the Exorcism Chronosphere and the Elder Titan being around as well. And like we saw, without the Elder Titan, that Meepo took an extremely long time to die. I mean, they even had to use the Echo Slam for it, and even then they just barely did get the kill. But Roshan, it's going on by Awake, even without the Meepo being present.
Well, at this point in the game, for Awake, they are going to help themselves to a Roshan, and with Roshan here, could they potentially force themselves to tier 3, do you think?
I mean, I think so. At the moment, they have a huge enough lead. Looking at the graphs as well, I think they've updated by now. At least the kills say they have, so... They actually just gained even more XP than they lost from that Meepo death. So about a 17,000 XP lead now for them, 12,000 gold as well. They are definitely in the driver's seat the week that is. And, I mean, Aghanim Scepter, Razor, he's about to hit level 16 soon enough, needs another creep wave or 2 for it. So with the level 3 After Storm, with the Aghanim's buff, Meepo with an Aegis and a Hex, I just don't see any reason why not to go push.
I'd be inclined to agree with you here. They can push in as much as they like at this point. I would not be surprised, but the Meepos are continuing to farm the jungle. And honestly, the Meepo is near enough capped out with that Aegis. Why are we not seeing a push, is my mind here. Considering Solitic continuing to farm, could he possibly want to buy an item before they push again? I mean, he's got 3,500 gold. What could he possibly want to buy? And the line is being drawn here by Awake. They all want to rotate down to that bottom lane and potentially get the tier 2, maybe even the tier 3, and we could see some damage on racks in this game.
I would like to see Assault Cuirass coming out from the Doombringer, just getting the bonus armor onto everybody, deal with the exorcism or just help out with it, as well as just boost up the push damage, or push speed. I mean, Meepo, once you have 5 Meepos right clicking away at the tower, when the tower has minus armor, it just goes down extremely fast, especially if the Eye of the Storm is also helping out.
I completely agreed, and just the level of damage and that pushing power Awake can now levy on the tower is getting borderline ridiculous, considering how quickly that fell. And I'm surprised we're not seeing the tier 3 push at this point. They have everything they need unless they want to get a pick off just in case.
I think they're gonna wait for the Eye of the Storm to cool off now, since they did use it for the tier 2. Wasn't really necessary, but just wait it out. They did just get the Aegis after all, so it's still a long time away from timing out.
Yeah, they have the time. It's the 6 minutes on the Aegis to be taken back by Roshan. It's comfortable. It really is comfortable. And Doom continuing to farm up, get gold. And it would not surprise me to see the line drawn down the middle lane at some point soon and go for the tier 3 mid. But still, that could be risky considering we do see Prime with that smoke. They could be looking for Doom here, and they see him. They want to kill something. Do they kill the Meepo, though, or do they kill the Doom? And Boo Boo does have the Invis Rune. He's not on the back of the smoke, so all the Meepos are here. This is Echo Slam territory, but he needs his team to be closer. Death Prophet's nearby. You've got Nefari ready to jump. Who starts this fight?
Man, Meepos is just running away, and Boo Boo is gonna go and get the stun onto King A Fisher to follow up as well. Chronosphere, they're holding it. Now it comes out onto 2 heroes. No Doom to come out. They actually route around Solitic, and now Meepos, they get 1 kill. Elder Titan down. Can they get more? The poofs are coming through MSD. They kill him, but now Meepo, one of them is on the run. If they bring him down, there's still an Aegis to just help him out. Time walk away from the Faceless Void. He just barely survives. Somehow the Plasma Field, though, gets the kill in the end. A 3-4-2 and an Aegis. But Meepo is gonna come back. Monang, Death Prophet, Exorcism, actually Toy. Even if the AC, never mind, it's not on him
In
yet.
comes the Echo Slam. Boo Boo wants to start this fight back up again, trying to hold back the Meepo, but he can't hold it alone. He will take a fall, and it's another double kill the way of Toye, with a full 5-man wipe now in favour of Prime as well.
That just, I mean, Meepo having the Aegis, of course, making a difference there as well. He even has a Reaver now. He's capped out on the levels 25. And in that fight, Razor, he actually didn't even have his AC on him. He finished it up, but it was still on the courier. So next fight will be even harder for TP.
I would completely agree. And considering Meepo has signified he wants a heart, which he can flat out buy at this point as well, it's going to be nigh on impossible to kill Meepo in my mind, especially now we have a refresher Doom. What's better than 1 Doom? 2 Dooms.
Well, this game is, I want to say, more or less over. Yes, there's still a chance for comeback. I mean, high ground defense, you have to be respecting the ability for just Chrono, Exorcism, and the Earth Splitter combination. But every time TP, either they just aren't there as full 5 in a team fight and don't have the combination, or even in this fight, they were just spread out. Half of them tried to go for Meepo, half of them just occupied the others. So they just need their full combo to be able to fight. And even then, just with the item advantage, the gold advantage that Awake has, which is over 20,000 now, I'm not too sure if TP can just even defend high ground.
I have my doubts as well, since you've got that Meepo that's a big threat. You've got 2 Dooms, so that means Void's going to get doomed and potentially Death Prophet getting doomed. On top of all of that, you still have to consider Razor. He has his Aghanims. He's got an AC. Those towers will melt. It's a very tall order here for Prime to fight back into, and they need some perfect team fights. They need some pitch-perfect chronospheres. But are they going to find it? Now we get the chrono being thrown. They're going to bring down King A, but Mech will keep him alive that little bit longer. In the meantime, you have Meepo, however, will chew apart that Death Prophet. You've got one Doom Throne, Refresher popped as well. Earth Splitter to go through. Going to catch everyone off the back of that Stomp, doing good damage. And in comes the Echo. We'll be able to finish off one, but Doom immediately gets thrown on Boo Boo, and he will go down. Meepo still standing strong, though. Half HP on all of them. And in my mind, this is tier 3 territory. You've lost your Earthshaker, you've lost your Death Prophet. Sure, Death Prophet's back in 8 seconds, but you have no Chronosphere, you have no Earth Splitter. You only have Mass Serpent Wards, and the tier 3s are already falling.
Yeah, they might get Y2K. No, the Shackles actually Meepo's down. He has buyback though. They get the Echo Stomp onto Toya as well. Can they follow him down? They want to. Nafari is going to go with Mask of Madness, Time Lock, first hit bash. And they actually defend rather well here.
They do. That actually surprised me. Meepo went for aggressive looking for the kill, but blinked right into the Stomp, which pretty much mitigated all of the follow-up damage the Meepo would then commit. And of course, one Meepo being shackled would be the focus target while all the others are sleeping. Down falls the Meepo. It's a massive overextension, but bot lane right now, Solotic trying to go toe-to-toe with MST, will manage to bring down the Shadow Shaman, but now can he fight and bring down the Death Prophet? I don't think he can. He doesn't have Doom for 40 seconds. But blink into the trees. He should be safe. Crimson's going to fly and reveal him, though. They need to get some more damage on this, and now he's revealed out surely by the Spirit. And is he really safe? Is he really safe? Yes, he is. He's going to blink into the trees. And oh, he needs to be very careful now, though. He blinked there and could be revealed. He needs to juke perfectly. He needs to get into the tree lines. How long's on his dagger? 3, 2, 1. Shiva's got to pop. Blink away, and he is safe. Solotic is out of there.
Those jukes, man, just absolutely perfect. There's no way around this. And I was so surprised that when he was sitting in a little hole that faces away, he was literally next to him, yet unable to get vision.
The trees block the sight, and he doesn't have a hatchet, I don't think. No, he doesn't. No hatchet, no tangos. No way to stop that. And if you consider the lineup from Prime, what do they have that can knock down trees? There is an answer to that question. It's nothing.
Well, this game just got even harder since the Tombbringer didn't die. And not only that, he killed the Shadow Shaman who tried to gank him. He's just so damn tanky with the Shiva's card. And of course, even the Refresher Orb gives him a pretty healthy amount of health regeneration on top of his Scorcher when it's activated. So this game, I'm pretty sure there's still no comeback for TPL though. The last fight did actually, with the Chronosphere onto Tom Yum, they need to get the kill onto the Meepo. Poofs are coming in, he's so tanky. But do they have enough? The Hexes, they want to turn it around. Echo Storm, they're gonna get the kill on Meepo.
Yeah, too many Meepos are asleep, but they do get enough hits with that Geostrike to bring down the Void off the back of the fight. So it's a core for a core, but the Meepo dying at level 25 is just given a good chunk of experience to the entire Radiant side. And it's something that's going to add up. This is the second time the Meepo has fallen in so many short minutes. Now Prime are getting their act together. They're thinking, okay, we commit as 5 and we commit to kill the Meepo. They successfully kill a Meepo at the loss of 1. Still a advantage towards Prime at this point, though, even though they lost their Void.
By the way, look at Meepo. He has a Reaver. He has an Ultimate Orb. So I guess he thought like, yeah, Reaver is enough. I don't need to finish the heart. Just get the raw strength. And is this Ultimate Orb going to be a Skadi now then?
It should be a Skadi or a Manta from the Ultimate Orb, considering I believe you can poof to the illusions the Manta creates. But the problem here, though, is why would you pick up the Reaver if you're not going to finish the Heart? The Heart would make you so damn tanky. The idea of having a Heart on the Meepo, in my mind, is a better one. Sure, okay, let's take a quick look at the stat difference between a Reaver. Reaver gives 25 strength, whereas, if I recall right, Heart gives, I want to say, 30? 40. Heart will give 40, so it's only 15 more strength for the investment of the recipe and the
yeah, that Ultimate Orb pretty much could have been the recipe plus the orb, plus 200 gold, I guess, but would have been a little bit extra strength. Of course, you wouldn't have gained agility or intelligence, but
you don't need the agility or intelligence at this point. Right now, the Heart would help you tank up, and now we get another fight breaking out. Chrono's going to drop. They're going to go straight onto the Meepo once again. If they can finish him off, that's going to be huge. But the swap comes in. They're going to try to buy him some time, but in comes the Exorcism. In comes the Mystic Flow as well, and the Echo Slam. They tried to bring down Toye, but Meepo is still standing. Where is Meepo in this fight? He poofs in and brings down the Death Prophet. Exorcism is no longer a factor. Now he's going to focus on the doomed Y2K Elder Titan and will get the double kill. Can they find the Void off the back of this one? They'll bring down Boo Boo in the trees and make that a double kill for Tom Young and a triple kill for King A.
The Chronosphere is just onto one man. It's not enough, especially if the Vengeful Spirit just swaps him out almost immediately. And Double Doom, they just have two huge by lead. I think TP, they've actually fought rather well within the last couple of team fights. But being at such a deficit, I mean, almost 25k gold, XP around 20,000 as well. It's just a little bit too much for them to handle with their current lineup. And the Chronosphere's onto one man, it's definitely not helping along.
It doesn't add up, it doesn't give you enough, and it's now only a matter of time before we see the throne. I mean, we're already seeing the racks just get destroyed, and hell, Meepo will poof up top and start working on the second set of racks. With literally no contest, the only thing that's up is the Death Prophet. Can rotate up and try to deal with this, sure. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Meepo just turn around and annihilate Monang for his efforts here. In comes Nefari on the backlines, actually. Might be able to bring down the Meepo, but still, is this enough at this point? They will finish off the Meepo, they'll get the extra kill, but still, that was a rack stand on the top lane and nearly a full set of racks on the bottom lane. What is still standing? A ranged racks. That ranged racks won't regenerate, sure. Neither will this ranged racks on the top lane, and you now basically have everything you need to set up for mega creeps in favor of Awake here.
Yeah, it's just delaying things out at the moment. There's nothing more, and there's the Heart of the Rasfinished and Razor now as well, all of a sudden. Vengeful Spirit picks himself up while Vladimir's offering, which could have been done earlier on anybody else, but now all the cores have the big items, while just the support utility goes for the Vengeful, and I guess TP, they're going for the last final push. They have Exorcism level 3. I guess if they win a fight here decisively, they have the ability to just go for Throne and GG, but it's a small one.
You still got buyback on Doom and Meepo with the Skywrath to deal with, and now we get the commit from the Radiant side. They're going to drop Mass up onwards, but they get Doom onto Nefari. They're going to refresh, potentially get another Doom off, but the Mystic Flare comes down and just brings down the Void in a few seconds flat. But Echo connects on 3. Down goes the Meepo, down goes the Doom. Doom instantly buyback, so does the Skywrath Mage, and Meepo's now back in the fight as well. Now you got Toy being chased away by Y2K, but in comes the Doom. Magic Missile as well to clean up from Yo 2. And it will be a full tier 3 in that mid lane. Doesn't get the full set of racks, so back on the sidelines of this fight you have Meepo cleaning up Boo Boo, but Boo Boo will force himself up to the high ground before he falls. But still, you've lost your range racks on the top lane. You've nearly lost it on the bottom lane, and GG is called. What a game coming out of Awake and Prime. This time going the way of Awake.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, if only the Faceless Void, just imagine him getting the Chrono like that. They killed the enemy heroes pretty damn fast with that Exorcism, the Echo Slam of course as well. If only there had been a Chrono for them to just get the damage without taking any in return at the same time. But just not to be Awake. They are the winners. They do advance to the group stage of Codes, which will start the day after tomorrow on the 4th. But this is it for this series, but we have one more coming up. It's going to be MVP Hot 6 versus G7. It should actually start almost immediately since this game went on pretty damn long. So we're going to head into that lobby now. It should be up by now. And guys, once again, as always, thank you so much for tuning in and supporting us, as well as the Mineski Pro Gaming League, sponsored by Gigabyte, SteelSeries, ViewSonic, as well as the Secret Shop Philippines. Huge thanks to Blackadder for casting with me. You can follow him, of course, on Twitter, Mr_Blackadder. It's in the title of Twitch as well, if you want to check it out. It's the same for his Twitch as well as Twitter both. And of course, follow HeflaTV on all of our social media, HeflaTV on Facebook, Twitter, and of course the votes will be available on YouTube. The first 2 games already uploaded, this game soon to follow. But see you guys in the next series, G7 versus MVP Hot 6.